What's going on, you all? Coach Reese here, the boxing professor, coming to bring you the next video in our Boxing for Beginners series. This video will be about slipping shots. Before I get too deep into this video, please make sure you give me a like, comment, share, subscribe, even turn on your notification bell. Sorry it took so long to get this video shot. I actually had a few tripod issues. I broke the last tripod, to be completely honest with you guys. I broke it and the videos were kind of all over the place. So I'm back with another tripod. Also, I wanted to wait until I got some of my students in here with me to go over some of the defensive postures. However, I believe I can finagle this one with slipping, more so without them, and then we'll get to it with them. So there may be a second part to this video. But for right now, we're going to talk about slipping shots. So we're getting into our defense now. So slipping shots is your ability to make your opponent miss while taking your head off the line from their shot. So your head has to be able to move side to side. With that being said, I am going to highly suggest you work on a few neck exercises. Firstly would be head circles. You want to rotate your head because what you want to start doing is loosening up your neck, because a lot of fighters have horrible slipping habits because they have no mobility and no flexibility in their neck. You'll do the same amount of circles going the other way. You've got to make sure that if you really want to be a top tier athlete, you cannot name one top tier athlete right now at this moment in time that does not have some sort of increased flexibility. They don't have to be a martial artist. They don't have to be anybody or anyone who participates in a certain sport. However, mobility and flexibility are key. I have good stretching routines on my video channel here, so make sure you go back and look at it. I'll actually tag it in the video and have it as a link that you can click. However, you want to make sure that as a fighter, you are flexible, okay? So after you do your head circles, this one may look a little weird, but you want to start stretching your neck side to side like this. Boom. Stretch, stretch, and you're going to feel your neck stretch, and you might even hear it pop, and it's okay because it's a movement that you're not used to doing. Right? 9, 10. So I prefer that you do 10 head circles one direction, 10 head circles the other direction, and stretch your neck side to side. 5 on each side, 10 total. And then we can get down to business. So let's get into this slipping. My orthodox stance, I'm an orthodox fighter. The mistake that a lot of people make when they slip is everyone tries to do the Mike Tyson slip. What is the Mike Tyson slip? You're locked in and you're tilting like a pendulum. I got news for you. That was Mike Tyson's. Let Mike Tyson have that, okay? Anybody who tried to mimic another fighter, and I've said this before, anybody who tried or continuously tries to mock another fighter has a short career. They get knocked out, they get embarrassed. Adrian Broner tried to be Floyd Mayweather. You've got people out here trying to be Dimitri Bivol. You got people out here trying to mimic Mike Tyson. It's not working. The best decision that you can make as a fighter is to be you. So I say that going into the next segment. So what you want to do in slipping is, firstly, very, 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 very important. You set the bait. What is the bait? The bait is your head. Simple. It's a simple answer. And this is where the simple science, not simple science, the sweet science comes in. Because you have to set the bait before you slip. People want to get in here and get straight to slipping and moving and things of that nature. However, you have to set the bait for your opponent to reach at, right? So if I'm in my boxing guard, and I'm just going to drop my hands for right now. Just imagine my hands are up at my head. If I want to slip to the left, that would be cause for my opponent to be throwing a right hand at my face, directly at my face. In order to do so, am I just going to do this? No, that's the stretch that I did earlier. What did I teach you earlier? Way back in the series, boxing is a full body work. Boxing is a work of full body. So what's going to happen to accentuate and accentuate my neck over is I am going to turn my right foot and turn my hip as if I did what? Through a right hand. That position and posture right there is going to be what takes place as I move my head. Once again, if you go back and watch the video on how to throw the cross, if I throw the cross, my posture is forward there. What's going to happen there, in addition to the forward posture off of the right, boom, I take my head off the line. I'll do it in front so you can see it. I'll throw the right hand, boom, right? If I bring that right hand back and now stretch my neck out, look at all the room I created versus staying here trying to move my neck over. So I can move my neck over here, or I can move it here. What does that mean? That right-handed shot, if it's a right-handed shot being thrown, a straight cross, is going to clear my shoulder. So what it looks like is this. Boom, boom, boom. Why am I not keeping my hand on the left side of my face? Because if you're slipping shots effectively, boom, your hands aren't always going to be in that position. You can't always predict and be in a fixed position as a boxer. The worst thing that you can do is actually be a fixed boxer. You have to have all type of weapons and all type of different arsenals of offenses and defenses set up, because if not, you become readable. And that's all that's going on out there in a boxing fight, is you're reading each other and creating patterns and recording their patterns so you can respond with your pattern, right? So with the slip, if you want to, for right now, you can glue your knuckles to your cheekbones, but what you want to do is turn the right foot, turn the right hip, and take your head to the outside, right here. Boom. That's me slipping the right hand. If I slip the jab, I don't just take my neck off the line. Is that enough room for me to get out the way? Absolutely not. So what are you going to do to help accentuate that? Go back to the video where I showed you the footwork on how to throw the three or the hook. When you throw the hook, what happens? You turn the foot, you turn the hip, and you turn the shoulder, and you pull the weight to the back leg. If I bring my hand back and then stretch my neck out, now I've created a clearance. So I could either do like this to slip the jab, or I can add the extra bit of turn. And you don't want to overcorrect either. That extra little bit, like Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man, when that fist goes by you, you don't want to be way on the outside here, because your counter is going to take too long to come back. And that gives your opponent the shot to actually, or the time to actually catch you with another shot before you actually get back in there. So this here, turn the left foot, turn the shoulder, and extend and stretch the neck. Also, keep those eyes forward, okay? Keep them forward, let the clearance go by, and then you slip the shot. That's one way to slip. There are also methods of slipping as to where your foot taps. So what I just showed you was the starter way to slip. So getting into the advanced method, there's a foot tap that takes place, right? So let's say I'm going to stay on the jab slip that I just did there, right? So instead of turning my foot, what I'm going to do now is tap this right foot out to the side as I stretch my neck. When I do so, this is a slip where you're actually projecting for a counter to come behind it. The right counter. Because I know you guys already know not to be sitting flat on your back heel. So I already knew that you guys weren't on your back heel, right? So what's going to happen is as I stretch my neck, I am going to take a lateral step off of my right toe to the outside here. Boom. Right? Boom. I still got my eyes on you, right? I stretch my neck off to the side. I have a slight step out to the right, and then I can step back in with my cross counter. So that's the boom, right slip, prepping for a counter. This is the right slip, boom, standard. This is the right slip, prepping for a right counter. So the same scenario can happen if you're slipping to your left, slipping there across, coming over. So you've got the turn low, boom, or you've got the step out forward, slightly forward, not big, slightly forward as you move your neck. Boom. So you can either turn the right foot, that's one version, or you can step out to shift the weight and create a clearance. There you can respond with your uppercut or you can respond with your hook. So let's get into the counters that actually go off of that real quick. So if I'm slipping the jab out to the right, if I roll and slip, boom, I'll counter back with a 2. Or if you've been practicing your weight shift, guess what else you can do depending on how close or how far your opponent is away. You can slip and respond, boom, with a right uppercut. Or guess what else you can do? You can slip, boom, respond with your own right hook. Or guess what? You can slip and respond with the overhand. Any shot that does what? Comes off of the weight shift. Intelligent boxing is using the weight shift that you've prepared. So that's on that slip. With the step slip, boom, more than likely with that, you're coming straight back in with that cross. Tap, tap, and you tap the foot both times. You tap and close. So you open your guard when you stretch your neck, and then you close the guard when you throw the cross. Got it? On the left-hand side, if I slip the cross, boom, on the traditional slip, all the weight is sitting in my front leg. So what does that give me the option to do? The 3, right? Or the uppercut, right? Or an upshoot, or a couple of other shots we'll get into in more advanced techniques. If I do the step slip, it gives me the same options and the same opportunity. However, it puts me a bit closer as to where what? If you're closer, what type of shots would you throw? Power shots. Shots that you can sit in on. All right, so let's get into our homework segment. How do I practice this? What I want you to do is I want you to slip left, turn the right foot. Slip right, turn the left foot. Again, left, right, left, right. 4, left, 5, right, 6, left, 7, right, 8, left, 9, right, 10. Just 10. We're going to be using the power of 10, which is also a theory that I've been putting to the test in here with my fighters. 10 times every day. You do something 10 times every day, in a 30-day period, that's 300 times. In a year, that's 365,000 times. So, 3,650 times. My math was off. Sorry, too many zeros. 3,650 times. You will be a lot sharper at it. And then you want to do the same thing with the step slip. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Simple. Please master the simple. Work on the simple. Mastery is all hidden within the simple. So please focus on that. If you're able to, you can tie that into the other videos that I've posted where you're shuffling forward, you're pivoting back, you're shuffling backwards, you're able to pivot and move. You can step forward with your jab, you can step back with your jab. There are plenty of sequences that you can come up with. Yes, I can give you standard homework, just like I just did. However, one thing that I want to ask you all individually, as fighters, as developing fighters, what can you put together uniquely that nobody else can. That's what's going to separate you from everyone else. Yes, all boxers have the same principles. They have the same teachings. Even my fighters in this gym, they all have the same teacher. So they're going to have all the same teachings. However, what I force them to do is to create their own sequences, their own ways of doing things. And I'll help them along the way when I see certain things that need a little bit of tuning. However, they have to all become individuals. You should aim to become an individual. No matter what it is I'm teaching you, no matter whoever else's videos that you watch and that you study, you have to find your own unique way, because that's what's going to make you a great fighter and a great boxer. Listen, I enjoyed shooting this video. I will stay more consistent on it now that I have my tripod issue fixed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Enjoy slipping. Enjoy learning how to slip. And please practice, practice, practice. Tag me in your videos if you want to. I'll give you some feedback. I may even go live sometime this week or whatnot. But listen, I'm enjoying shooting these videos for you. So please, like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next lesson.